Hey everyone, today I'm going to do a comparison between the Moyu Aosu and the Moyu Weisu. Now I got both of these from Wall Buys and the Weisu price was at about $14 when I got it, and I had a coupon code, so that really saved a lot. And this one was $19, and then I added a coupon code on this one, and that made it a lot cheaper. So, and I also, one more thing before we start this, these cubes are tensioned evenly and have the same advantages. So this one is, they've been both lubed with silicone lube weight 4 in the core and the pieces. Well, not the core, the plates on there, the little spinning plate, and with Maro lube. So they both have the same advantages. No, one cube has not been lubed and one cube has been lubed. Just to get that over with, so I'll do a quick size comparison between the two, right, quickly. So it's about, they're pretty much the same size, as from what I can see here. They don't look any different. So I guess we'll start with the Weisu first. So the Weisu turning is, it's very, very nice. It turns great. The inner layers don't lock up. The turning is very smooth. But it's a different type of smooth. It's a smooth, kind of clacky feel, and a slight, very, very slight blocky feel. As you can hear from this, it sounds very loud. Loud, and it feels like a lot of pieces are grinding against each other because it's a loud noise. So that's pretty much the Aosu turning. I mean, not the Aosu, the Weisu turning. So the Aosu turning is, it's a very smooth feel, just like the Weisu, but in a different sense. It feels more like when you first get it a non-broken in Fangshi, but not as severe as how sandy it was. But when it's broken in, it feels like it's broken in Aolong with just only turning the outer layers, without the locking up that the Aolong has. So the turning, they're both very unique. This one feels fast. As regards of speed, I would have to say that my Weisu is faster, but note that my Weisu has had a lot more break-in time than my Aosu, so that may have something to deal with it, but the Aosu is not slow by any means. It's just a little bit slower than the Weisu, but they're pretty much almost even in speed. So the Weisu, let's check out the corner cutting real quickly. About a QB, maybe a little less. So about a little bit less than a QB. And let's try the inner layers. A little bit, just almost a full QB. I don't really cut in the inner layers, so I don't see why I need it. I mean, it's nice to have some inner layer cutting, but I don't use it that much. So let's try a little bit of reverse. It goes, and it decently goes. Let's try in the edges. It doesn't really cut there, reverse wise, but definitely it cuts regular. So you can see, once you start getting into these, it starts to kind of morph. So that's corner cutting for the Weisu. So for the Aosu, very nice. About a QB. reverse. Got a QB. Maybe a little, not QB, like half maybe. No, not even half, just like maybe a third. And the inner corner cutting, inner reverse. It's very nice actually. It like wants to glide. And regular. Yeah, it just popped. So it does actually cut I think, it actually cuts a lot more fluid than the Weisu does. The Weisu feels a little bit more like you have to put a lot more force into the cutting. But for here, it just feels like it wants to glide, like just slip past very nicely. As you can see the reverse here, it's just going, and like the Weisu wasn't really doing it. Oh, no. Aosu is just killing it. So that's corner cutting for the Aosu. So let's just take a quick look at the mechanisms of these. So I'm gonna take apart a chunk, like a corner section of it. Let's take a quick look at the cubes first, not the actual pieces yet. As you can see, these two, I'm going to compare it like this, so it's a little easier. Oh, this is nice. So as you can see, difference here. There's not many differences on the cubes here. One difference I can kind of see is, as you can see, there's a little bit of, I'll use my syringe, holes right here compared to the Weisu that does not have those holes. And this has just a little tiny dot. And this has a little triangle here, and they both have the plates though, the same thing, that the spinning plates. Let's see what else. There's nothing truly noticeable, but if you look deep down in here, you can see that this edge piece right here is completely solid. But if you look in the Weisu, it's a bit hard to see. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Maybe I can angle my light. As you can see right here, that right here is a torpedo. It's like a way long edge, and inside here there's a torpedo. So there's a torpedo type edge inside there. If I remember, I will put a link in the description of very accurate pictures of the pieces that maybe 51 More Fun has. I'm not too sure, but so maybe if I angle this a little better, it looks more like a way long edge. So you can see right here this part. And there's a torpedo down there. So it's a lot more hollow inside. So let's take a look at the individual pieces here. So here are the individual pieces. As for comparison, I will, oopsie, position it. Alright, so as you can see from these pieces, oh man, I gotta make this. Alright, so for the individual pieces, as you can see these little fangs right here. These little hooks, fangs, kind of. I just call them fangs. As you can see, they've been gotten rid of in the Aosu, and they added a little bit of a trench kind of here. Unlike the Weisu, it's not as pronounced. I mean, there's a little bit, but not that much. And they also have capped. They're capped. Unlike when the Aosu, they split to two. So you can make a stickerless Aosus, and they have them available on the Cubicle and other stores. Now let's take a look at the corner, which is probably the most significant about this change that I have seen on the Weisu versus Aosu. So as you can see, this is hollowed. I'm just going to show you. It's hollow right here. And the base is carved out. But on the Aosu, they decided to add that back in. Now, I'm not sure what that has to do with adding it back in. What does it do? But it seems to have worked, whatever happened. So, and also, they had this little part right here. I guess to create a stability thing. Also, if you look at the corner, this looks like a cube, and this is just like it's glued on there, kind of. As you can see, it looks like they got rid of that and kind of cut out a section of here and created this flat area right here, all around here. And also these corners do split in 3, if I can get these to split. Yeah, they split into 3, kind of like Diane cubes do. And then you just put them back together and you have an Aosu corner. So that is the Aosu corner and the Weisu corner. And now let's look at the final pieces, the centerpieces. So the mechanism, this is, you can see that this part to keep the inner mech in alignment is a lot smaller than this. This has a lot more surface area. And they also made this part hollow right here. And this part, I don't know why. If I stand them up like this, you can see a very noticeable difference that this has a little peg right here, and this has no peg, obviously. It's just a flat, it looks like a Shengxiao piece. If you look at this from this angle, it looks like it has a little trench right here, and this one just has a flat base with hollowed out pieces. So that's the difference between the centerpieces. Now I'm just going to put this back together real quickly. So now I've gotten the cubes back together. Let's talk about a few about locks and pops. The cubes, I'll start with the Weisu first. The Weisu, I've had no problem with popping. I've only had like maybe a handful of pops. Maybe barely any pops on the Weisu. I've had more problems on pops on the Aosu than the Weisu. And it doesn't seem to pop for me. And the lockups, they sometimes happen when I do 3x3 stage because I'm just kind of sloppy during 3x3 stages. I don't do my algorithms like a 3x3 and it kind of fumbles a little bit. But it doesn't lock up that much. As you can see when I do, I'll just do a J-perm. It doesn't really lock up that much. Or when I do, I'll do an OL parody. Kind of locked up there. But it doesn't lock up that much to the point where it'd be aggravating like the Shengxiao. And it also doesn't lock up on these layers right here, which is very nice. So on the Aosu, it does pop, as you saw from the when you watched it. It popped right here. The edge just popped out. But it doesn't lock that much. It doesn't lock as much as the Weisu does. Or the Weisu doesn't lock up that much, but I have to say it locks a lot less. This one. It doesn't really lock, but the problem with this one is it pops. It somehow pops for some odd reason. I really don't know why. But the cube does feel very nice still either way, but it pops, but it doesn't lock that much when I do ALGs. I must say that this is probably the best outer layers on a 4x4 I've ever had. The Weisu is very close to good, but I still lock up on it. But the Aosu, it just has fantastic outer layers. So if your strong point is 3x3 stage, this cube is definitely for you, because the outer layers in here are like almost flawless. I think it is actually just flawless. It's just amazing. It kind of feels like a 3x3 almost. You could actually probably use this for a 3x3. It's that good. So I will do a quick solve on both of these, but first I want to say that I have a thing for these two. These two are both my mains, so I'm not really biased against any of these. And it feels like what I think is the Weisu has less pops with less speed, a little bit less speed, and the Aosu is more speed, but they got rid of some of the anti-pop on the edge, which makes it pop more. And more anti-pop, and got rid of some of the anti-pop in the internal edges that the Weisu has. So that's what I think. Obviously, that's just my opinion. But yeah, so that's the comparison. I'll do a quick solve on both of these, and we'll be going with the review or the comparison. Note that I am not the greatest 4x4 solver out there. By no means. Alright, it's going to be hard solving in front of the camera, because I'm not good with it. So, I'm going to try to look at the cube, but at the same time make sure the camera's looking, so. Okay. The problem with mine is the edges, I can never find them. So, white. Oh man, this is horrible. I started to try to do half centers, but not for every solve. Like, I found that to be convenient for half centers since one of them was already built. Oh, there's one. Man, I put the edge in the wrong place. I'm doing horrible right now. Oh, a little skip. Great. And wow, great last layer, honestly. That was a great last layer, but the rest of this all sucked. So time for the Aosu. Alright, so let's start to solve. Orange, yellow, where's the last one? Put that in the wrong place. Okay. I'll do regular centers on this one. White. I'll do a Y perm, I don't know why. That seems to work out very well. So yeah guys, that is the comparison between the Weisu versus Aosu. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Please subscribe if you like this video. And I hope to finish my Yao tutorial for color neutral because I haven't worked on it yet. I've had a lot of work. Summer's here now, but there's a bit of a conflict I'm going through, not personally, just through organizations that I'm not going to mention. So yeah guys, thanks for watching.